I know his views. Amy said we need to be our own leaders and we need to take a stand and we need to make Obama do what he set out to do. How do we get recognition and how do the leaders that are really doing something get recognition if there's so much media censorship and consolidation with corporate power? How do we get the notoriety and people to recognize what we're doing in order to galvanize?
That's a great question. We need to be risk takers. And so there's a whole spectrum of activity. One is building organizations like Amnesty International, which is a very world-renowned and effective organization. Building media organizations and having media training so that people that are having issues that they're working on know how to communicate with the media. It's very difficult to get coverage on outlets that have traditionally dominated the discourse, like the evening news. But now the media environment is a little more horizontal, a little more access through alternative means. Pitching stories to Democracy Now! And making sure that you have great documentation. If you have still photos, video, written pieces, they can all be put on the web without, currently as the web is accessible, net neutrality. You can put that out there.
What do you see as the biggest barriers right now for our universal right to communicate?
Corporate control is and the cost of communications, and it's something that we work with. Like for example, in television, transmitting TV production is very expensive, and the means of transmission is very cumbersome, expensive. And so, for example, with the mass deployment of fiber optic lines throughout the U.S. and around the world, there's plenty of bandwidth for people to communicate with ultra-high speeds, but it's all controlled narrowly, increasingly in this country, by a company called Level 3 Communications, for example. We should have publicly controlled satellites, fiber optic. There's an example of that kind of grassroots access to the tools of communication and distribution is public access television, currently under tremendous assault in the U.S. It doesn't really exist elsewhere much at all in the world. So in the U.S. we have this interesting institution, 5,000 public access stations, government and educational channels as well. So you get C-SPAN is widely popular here in the U.S. It's touted as cable's gift to America. But why not have local legislative city council meetings, school board meetings? Currently, there is the infrastructure to support that, but the cable companies and now the new players in TV distribution, the telcos, are doing what they can to strip away their obligation to provide that infrastructure.
Yeah, I mean, I live in Oakland and we don't even have a public access.
Right, you don't have that. Yep.
What advice would you give to independent journalists and people who are starting their own media? Any just words of inspiration that you can give?
Right. Well, certainly keep fighting, keep producing. It's great to get training and also at the same time not get too mired in the process, but to actually just do a paragraph, 2 paragraphs. Learn how to use the low-cost cameras, which is a really incredible innovation that people can now do HD video with something that fits in your pocket. And this, I err on the side of production. Keep things going out. There's plenty of issues that need to be covered, and so there's no shortage of material. And I encourage people getting into journalism to master cross-platform production. So you do your writing, you do your still photos, and you do your video and audio. Strip the audio out of your video and make it available for just some video. And I think with the internet freely accessible as it is now, you will have an impact, and you will get your stories out there.
And since we're at a human rights conference, why is the universal right to communicate so important?
Well, it's what we as humans do, and people typically try to control what other people do or say or think in order to maintain political power, economic control, and so I think it's a vital that you're focusing on. Article 19 is great. People need more information about about it.